Hi everyone, my name is Julia and this is Dear Expats podcast. I'm here today with my co-host Polina.
Hi.
And today is another day of us reading your letters and trying to reflect on it.
Yeah, if you wanted to be a part of this podcast, just send us a letter. We leave the link below in the description so you can share your feelings, your story, your problem. We'll talk about this and try to help you. And don't forget to rate us and share this episode. It's really helpful for us to provide our podcast everywhere. So I think we can start with the first letter. Hi, my name is Sasha. I'm Ukrainian and I've been living in the Netherlands for 3 years already. I think it's a great country, but most of my fellow immigrant friends aren't as enthusiastic as myself. Often, it's just plain bickering over what's wrong here. How can I persuade my bike-fearing, rain-skeptical, pelmeni-longing friend to open their hearts and minds to more of what their new home has to offer? First of all, I think we need to explain what pelmeni means. Because me and Julia and Sasha, we are from similar but different cultures. So pelmeni, this is kind of Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian dim sums, I think. So this is meat in the dough, actually.
Yeah, or like Slavic ravioli for the Italian listeners.
Yeah, kind of Slavic ravioli. So start with the rain problems.
Yeah, so me and Polina, we both live in the Netherlands. I've been here for a year and a half. I came here to study and I stayed to work and just live here. And I like it here. I mean, I chose this country to immigrate to, but I'm aware of its problems as well, of course. What about you?
I think we need to mention that we both know Sasha and he's our colleague. So it's not like someone's letter and we can't talk and think what do we feel about Sasha and his problem too. So this letter was really surprising for me because it's really strange. Like, for example, you have a girlfriend and you're in love with her. And then your friend came to you and said, oh, I think your girlfriend is not so smart or not so beautiful, or she can't talk with your friends funny and interesting. I don't know. And what do you do in this situation? You can delete these friends from your list. Or you can say, oh, I'm so sorry that you don't like my girlfriend, but I love her so much. And I love you, my friend. Please don't tell anything about this country. But it's really strange to make your friend to like a girlfriend or to like your country.
I mean, actually, with people, it could be the situation that maybe like your friend hasn't gotten to know your girlfriend yet, and maybe they can still, make a friendship and you can build like a relationship together. Because when you like introduce him to her and to her other sides, so that the friend starts recognizing what you like about your girlfriend. So I think with people, it's not so straightforward. I mean, you can not like some person at first sight, but then you get to know them and you become friends. Maybe with country, it's like that. I mean, some countries are just like more difficult to fall in love with.
Yeah, I understand you, but I think Sasha could talk about our friends and our colleagues, and they're here for last like 2 or 3 years. So I think this is the problem when everybody get to know your girlfriend and they still don't like her.
Well, what do you call getting to know her?
I think it's really touching that Sasha is, I don't know, like not sad, but he's thinking about this not a lot. Still, he's thinking about it. So maybe if we both live in the Netherlands and we both know all the minuses of this country about rain and taxes and prices and all this stuff, so maybe we should name 3 pluses, but they should be different. We can do one by one. So let's start.
I think what I like most is like the way the space is organized here. I mean, you feel kind of at home even when you just look if you just go along the streets, because people are like planting flowers everywhere. They have these common areas with the benches you can sit on. So it's just so nice and cozy, you know?
So like urban organization.
Yeah, you can put it that way.
Okay. I love that I can sit on the train and in 20 minutes I can be by the sea. I love water and I'm from Moscow originally. So we have Moscow River. It's pretty giant, but it's not the sea. And to look at the sea or to walk by some big water, you need to ride a lot. It's not like 20 minutes, definitely. So I'm happy that I can do it in January or in June, or also I can try to swim. It's not really easy to do this in Netherlands Sea, but I love this part. I think I'm the fan.
Okay, so the next one for me, I think you stole this one, so I have to think really fast. I guess it's people here. I mean, they're not so initially welcoming, like maybe in the southern countries, but they are in general like really nice, and they try to help you if they see that you are in trouble, and they speak perfect English everywhere, so you can like really get help in any situation very fast. And yeah, I think that like in general you feel kind of welcome in every space that you come to, and it's really nice trait about it.
Okay, I think the second plus for me is like safety everywhere, because I left Russia and we have like really tough time in Russia right now. But also when I go to the different European country, for example, my friends live in Barcelona, and I can't feel myself as safe as I feel here. And it's not about like home and not home, because I don't think that like in these 2.5 years I feel this home feeling. But it's really safe here and I'm relaxed. I can go by myself, like not at night, but when it's dark. For example, in Russia, if I need to go somewhere in winter, I always use the cab. Of course, it's too expensive here, but I feel myself really good to like take tram or bus or something to go home with like in dark or cold periods. And like thanks for this country, I feel myself really safe here.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. I think my last one would be a bit controversial because it would be about the weather. I mean, it is really horrible when it's like 14 days straight without sun. It really affects me. But then when I think about the summer in the Netherlands, I think it's like the best summer I've experienced. And I've lived in Italy and in Turkey and in Russia, and it's either too hot or too cold or something like that. And here it's like perfect. You have like very hot days when you can go and swim in the sea or just like do some sunbathing. And then you have more cozy days. So you don't feel like 2 or 3 months out of the year you can't function because of the hot temperature.
The third one, I think I love Netherlands and Amsterdam, especially because I have lived only here. I don't know how to name it, but this is like comfort and coziness. And I don't know, like in Russia, for example, everyone's so, like tough organized. They're so critical to themselves and to other people on the streets or in the shops. I think I can feel like really relaxed in this country. I know that sometimes for me it's like too relaxed. So when everyone stop working at 5 o'clock and you're stop working like at 10 p.m., kind of feeling frustrated or a little bit angry that nobody's working as you. But at the same time, I love the idea that you can go like in pajama pants on Saturday morning to the supermarket or to the bakery. I think it's like really comfortable because in Moscow, I think I always compare this like inner, you have like, house, your office, like maybe your bars or your cafes. But when you're going on the streets, you're feeling like you're ready for the attack. Maybe this is like kind of the second my plus about the safety, but it's not like about safety. This is about, I don't know, like mood or feeling in this country and this house. Yeah, so I really love it.
Yeah, I think it's generally a very, very cozy space, like to be in. Yeah, so I think we've pleased Sasha with all of our pluses.
Yeah.
We're not so skeptical at all.
Yeah, we love Netherlands and we pretty much love Sasha. So thank you, and let's move for the second letter. Hi, Polina and Julia. My name is Ludmila. I live in Vienna for almost 2 years. I think I got lucky because I'm surrounded by amazing friends. Most of them come from my culture. I have a couple of foreign friends too, but it's easier to communicate with people with who we share a common background. The thing is that I'm afraid that one day these people of my culture will leave Vienna after graduation from university. Everyone had their own plans, which is great, but I can't help a feeling that sometimes I'm missing out on something. When I don't have any energy to meet with friends and they make their own plans, I think that I might miss something and lose connections. And when they leave, I will be left alone in the city and will have to build friendships from scratch with foreigners. For the latter, I don't have much experience, as I mentioned before. I would appreciate your advice and would be glad to hear your view on this.
So Ludmila is my friend. I have to tell it first. And we are doing this long distance friendship thing. We used to live together in Moscow, and now we've kinda both moved to Europe, and we've been doing this synchronized moving for some time, and it really resonates with me. I think because here in the Netherlands, most of my friends are from my culture as well. They're basically the social circles that I formed when living in Moscow, and then I've kept after moving. I also feel like that sometimes, but I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Do you think it's a bad thing?
I think there are two parts of this letter. First one, is it a bad thing to communicate only with people from your culture? This is one thing. And the second thing, like, is it okay to afraid to lose them when you live in different countries? I think that is two different questions. My aunt have lived in US like for the last 30 years. So she left Russia like 30 years ago. She met a guy, my uncle. When I just moved to the Netherlands, she was really skeptical and told me, like, you need to integrate with Dutch people. You shouldn't be only with like Russian speaking people. And I think that she's right, definitely. But is it okay to start to communicate with your people from your culture or like from the similar culture? I think this is great too. The second part of this letter, I have a friend here, Nadia. We've been in the one university, but in different years. So she has her Dutch husband. He's young as us too. And when she told me about him, she said that Dutch people don't like to have friendship, like deep friendship with expats, because they will move, and Dutch people love to put their resources only for things will like still for their like long life. That's why this guy, I love him, but he has his friends only from school or university. So he has colleagues, but they're not like their friends, and this is the big border he put between them. So I can understand Dutch people somehow, but I think that you shouldn't be afraid, Ludmila, of some loneliness, because I think this is a normal part of the immigration. And also, when your friend will move, for example, or you'll move, you will find a new friend. That's how it works, actually, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's true. I have one or two friends from different culture. I have a Dutch friend, and I used to have friends from Italy and Turkey. Just like people I've connected at some point of my life, and then we've just parted, and it's okay. So I think that what you're also trying to say is that it could not be your problem that you don't want to socialize enough with people outside of your culture. For example, I did my master's here, so I was in fully international program. There were, I think, like 70% of people who were Dutch, and then there were expats from both European countries and just like all around the world. And I couldn't say that I managed to secure a lot of connections also because, it's like this situation when you go to the new school and there are all of these like kids and they just start forming the groups and you can't find the group that you can belong
Really?
to. And then you just like try to find some other lonely kids and you just stick together
I don't know.
until the end of the school.
You were this kid?
Yeah. And it kind of felt like that when, entering the new context, like the new university, because these people who are Dutch, they speak their language between them. They can like do this. They would talk to you in English regarding the school and studies and stuff, but they would just switch back to their, native language to discuss some fun stuff, small talk, all that sort of things. And they just have, this shared context, and you're worried that you won't understand it. And you also have like this burden of like going through immigration hanging upon you. So maybe you feel like too heavy for them, for like casual communication and stuff. And I probably can understand it, but then it's just becomes a question of finding people who have been through the same experience. For example, the friend that I have, she's Dutch, but she has studied abroad herself. So she has been in the same situation that I'm in now, and therefore she's much more perceptive, and she can understand my experience, and she's not, afraid of it and of something new. Because being an immigrant, we do put ourselves in a completely new context, and people who've never done that, they don't do that. They choose maybe comfort zone, and it's totally normal. But that could be the reason why such connections could be difficult. And in that case, I think that having even long distance friendships, but the ones that are, the true ones, sometimes saves you better from the sense of loneliness than having a lot of local connections that are not that deep. But you can do both, obviously.
Yeah, sure. I think the answer is just doing both. I want to end with this funny story. I have like one of my best friends, my ex-classmate Nastya. She's quarter Spanish, so 3 years ago she moved to the Spain with her husband Denise, and they both speaking Spanish good, and they're like have a lot of times like in lessons and practicing and all this stuff. And this Saturday or Sunday, I texted her like, "How are you? How are you feeling?" And that's it. She sent me video. She said, Denise said that we need to be a part of like Spanish community. That's why we're on the excursion. The theme of the excursion is stones. And all of the group are Spanish, like retired people, like old people, like 70 plus people.
That's a good crowd.
Yeah. I said, wow, so interesting. She said, yeah, but it was so funny. We had like, beer pause. So they were talking about this excursion, all this stuff. And everybody ordered beer. And they said, oh, maybe you like want to order vodka. We heard that like you are drinking vodka like on Sundays. And it was so funny. But I think this is a great experience. So do both, Ludmila, and thank you for your letter. Actually, the last story which was bothering me about the immigration is relationships, actually. Because I have relationships with my boyfriend. They're quite fresh, but I don't know, like more, I think like 7 months or something. But also, he's my first love. So we started in school together, and like we had our first relationships with each other. Then life separated us, and now we've met each other one more time. So the problem is, I live in Amsterdam and I'm tied to this country because I have my work here. I moved here because of my work. I haven't chosen Netherlands, but I'm here, and I can't move to other country right now. And my boyfriend, he lives between like 3 countries, now 4. And when our relationship just started, I thought, oh, it sounds like a little bit sexy, like you spend like 2 or 3 months together, then 1 or 2 months separated. You have time for your life, for your work, I don't know, like for your fitness, for your friends, and I don't know, for everything you like to do, like when you're alone, you're not connected to someone. But when our relationships became deeper, I fully understood that it's really hard for me to be in a couple, and like then in one day you woke up and you're like alone, and you need to configure all your life, like how do you spend your Saturday or Sunday or your evenings or your mornings. And it's not like huge problem, it's not a nightmare, but I think that relationships are working pretty different in immigration. It's not like in your regular real life. Have you like met with this problem with relationship in the immigration with like this long distance or something like this relationship? And how have you solved this situation to be in the couple, but then you're alone and all the time you're thinking, okay, I'm in a couple, but I don't know, like, should I plan something or should I plan a call with my boyfriend, or like, what did you do?
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing this story. And I think that yours, like, love story is totally adorable, like you both are. I don't know. I mean, for me, 7 months sounds pretty long term because it's longer than anything I've had. I mean, I haven't had a long distance relationships that have worked, but it wasn't, I guess, the distance. It was more about the different paths that you wanted to take for your life. Because in many ways, the choice of your place where you live, it's a reflection of your aspirations, of your career plans, of your, just like future plans and the priorities that you have in life. However, I do have some friends that are doing long distance, I think for several years now. And I totally admire their relationships because I think that they're doing really great. They are both actually very young. They are like 22 or 24. Sorry, guys. And they have been doing it long and they are successful. And I think that if I look at their example, the secret of the success is just, communication. I mean, I know it sounds pretty trivial, but I know that they spend a lot of time talking to each other, like over the phone or with the video. So it's not just chatting because it helps you, I guess, to keep the connection.
That's true, but I don't have a problem with the connection. Our relationships are pretty great and they're working good, even on the distance. And I totally agree with you. Distance is never the main reason or main problem. This is not about relationship. This is about me. I'm spending a lot of resources to make my life like not new but different, like every month or two. We are recording this on Monday and my boyfriend left on Friday, so I had this first weekend alone, and I was pretty excited about it because I will meet my friend and another friend, and I don't know, like do some sport, go to yoga, drink coffee alone, and write something important in my diary. But I understand that your brain or some of your, I don't know, like mental things, they started to worry. Like, is it okay? Everything? Where is he? Why he isn't he? And it's really strange. Of course, I understand that you need like, I think a week to reschedule everything, but it's really, really hard. And I think that distance is not a synonym, but this is one of the main hashtags on the immigration, actually, for me, for my experience for this like last 3 years.
Yeah, that's true. But like, is it more that you have a problem of rearranging your life if you don't have someone to spend your days with? Or is it more about, the anxiety about their like physical absence? Because I think that those are different things.
I think that none both of them. This is not anxiety to be alone or anxiety to be without this person. I think this is anxiety of like in the immigration, you're spending a lot of resources to build your new world. And when you get one, it's really hard. It's much harder than when you live at home, when you're like home country, to rearrange everything. It's not about couple thing. And this is about like, okay, now I need to understand, am I ready to go to the different side of the town and eat syrniki, this is Russian cottage pancakes, alone? Is it okay for me? Or I'll better, I don't know, like go for a coffee and like write something and call my friend. This is like new habits. And you like need to redo this like every 2 months. This is what is hard for me.
So it's like basically every change that comes to your life when you are in immigration feels harder than it would be. Yeah, I think because you are constantly living like in this big change and then you have small changes happening. And I feel this way too. I mean, I think that changing apartments when you are in immigration, for example, is much bigger stress, and not only because of the rental market in Amsterdam, which is totally crazy. But
I think we need to talk about this somehow. Maybe I will change my apartment and we'll do this in our podcast.
Yeah, because this is totally like different episode. But just in general, that you building some center of stability in your life, and then you have to change it, and it kind of feels very stressful. But I don't know, it's not so one-sided, because on the other hand, when your life is this, constant change, it becomes more easy to, make rapid decision. For example, when I left Russia, I've changed 3 countries since that time. I first moved to Turkey, then to Italy, then to Netherlands. And I feel like each time, making this decision to change the country felt easier. So I think on the one hand, it's hard to live through any stress when you are in immigration. And on the other hand, maybe unnoticeably, you become more resilient to stress just because you have this experience.
And had you had a decent relationship in the immigration?
I've tried, but it didn't work. But
not about distance.
Not about distance, yeah.
Okay, so thank you. I don't know. I think maybe all people who send us letters feel the same. So I think yeah, I know that's that's true and sad, but that's still okay. And I think this is maybe the main feeling of immigration when you're, facing some troubles. You said, yeah, but I will do this. I will redo this and all this stuff. So thank you for your attention, Julia, and for your speaking with me about my problem. And I want to thank all people who sent us letters. Thank you so much. And please send us more. It's really interesting to talk about this. Julia, you want to say something too?
Yeah, we really love your stories, and we want to know more about it, because our experience is a bit, one-sided, because we have these friends from our context. So it would be really interesting to know the struggles that people from other backgrounds have, because that could be a new variety to the topics that we discuss. But I think that at the end of the day, it's one experience that we share, and that's a great thing, and that's the emotion of support that we wanted to maybe provide with this podcast, to end it on some optimistic note.
So you can send us a letter to the email. I will leave the link below in the description. Please give us rates and reviews and all this stuff, and share this podcast with your expat friends. This is really important for us. My name is Polina.
My name is Julia.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, thank you.